Hey everyone, SW Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new DC ranking here on the channel. I like to stop and take the time to rank all 16 DCAU films post-Flashpoint, ranked from the worst to the best. Please note everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My list is certainly not the right list. It is just my list, and you're free to comment down below your ranking of all 16 DCAU films ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. This is going in the order of HBO Max, so Constantine City of Demons is going to be on this list. Also, please note that this is day 2 of our DC week. Tomorrow, we're going to be ranking the Batman movies. Wednesday, we're going to be ranking the Superman movies. And on Thursday, Snyder Cut is happening. And I cannot wait. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now. And without further ado, let's just get right into our ranking. Kicking off my list at number 16 has got to go to Justice League vs. Teen Titans. Now, there's a lot to like about this movie. It's not necessarily terrible. I love seeing the Justice League for the first time. I like the structure of it, how Batman says that, hey, Damian, I can't take care of you while I'm with the Justice League. You have to go with the Teen Titans now. So I like that whole little structure. I love seeing Blue Beetle. I love seeing Beast Boy, Starfire. I just love seeing the Teen Titans inside of this. The tension between the team and Robin is actually pretty good in my opinion. And I also did like the whole entire relationship between Raven and Robin, while also dealing with the relationship between Raven and her father, Trigon. And Trigon was one of the best parts in my opinion. And the fight scenes were all good, but there wasn't enough real Justice League versus Teen Titans action. The fight happens, but to me, it just feels like kind of a letdown because they were mind controlled by Trigon. Kicking off my top 15 list has got to go to Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Now, I'm a big fan of the Wonder Woman character. I'm a big fan of Wonder Woman in the DCAU and in the DCEU. And I also love the Wonder Woman 2009 film. But in my opinion, it's great to see another outing for the Amazonian princess, no doubt. But continuity-wise, it doesn't really work. Silver Swan wasn't the best villain, and the pacing just wasn't the best to me. And honestly, I found myself a little bored in some scenes. It wasn't as action-packed as I hoped. It wasn't as Wonder Woman-like as I hoped. It wasn't as hopeful as I hoped. It felt like it was trying to retread the same story that we've seen time and time again. Wonder Woman leaving her home in Themyscira, which is a big plot point for the character of Wonder Woman, but Diana leaving Themyscira to save man's world. And to me, it feels like, okay, we've seen that before. Why not do something different? Especially with this film coming out in 2019. I could see 2009, but 2019, we've seen that before. And to be honest, I really didn't care that much for Themyscira or the Amazonians that were on Themyscira. I didn't really care about most of the characters. Steve Trevor wasn't even that good to me. He was fine. Diana I still liked, but inside of the other movies, I liked her more. Coming in at number 14 for me has got to go to Justice League Dark. The DCAU's first look into the supernatural is actually pretty cool. Since I love Constantine, I love DC Legends, so I love the Constantine character from that show. And I loved him in this. Like, he was very good in this because, you know, Constantine is a very cool character and a very good character. But instead of, like the name implies, you know, Justice League Dark, we get the Justice League and, like, these dark supernatural elements incorporated with that. And then we also have, like, the team together with this other team that dabbles in the supernatural. That's what I thought Justice League Dark was going to be. But it does just feel like Constantine and his supernatural buddies on an adventure with the Batman featured. And actually, the prologue was pretty cool with, like, the humans seeing fear and demons and devils and stuff like that. Like how the lady just saw her baby as like the devil. That was actually pretty cool and very interesting and moving the plot forward. But then it just turned out to be just Constantine and his buddies with Batman running along with them. And I don't know if anybody noticed or not, but Batman and supernatural elements, which are cool, which is a very interesting concept, to me they just don't mix. Coming in at number 13 for me has got to go to Batman Hush. Like, I really love Batman Hush. Batman Hush was actually a very cool, engaging story, and I thought that the mystery inside of it was very good. It worked for further developing Batman's character as well as his code, while also exploring the romance between Batman and Catwoman, which I did think that romance, that dynamic that they had together was actually pretty good. But as the reveals started to happen and as we find more and more about the mystery, we get more and more answers about Hush and everything like that. To me, all of that was great. I liked it. I liked when, you know, they revealed that it was Clayface, or I liked that, you know, they revealed revealed that Joker wasn't really involved. But then when they revealed the identity of Hush, and in my opinion, it wasn't the best reveal. I think it was just best for them to keep Hush anonymous. Coming in at number 12 for me has got to go to Batman Bad Blood. I am a big fan of the Bat family. I have expressed my love for the Bat family in my last ranking. And when they came together in the end, I was just so hyped. It was so satisfying. Even though we don't see the Bat family later inside of the universe, I still thought that moment was pretty cool, just seeing the Bat family together for the first time and then seeing Batgirl arrive. It was all great to me. I actually like the story here, having Batman being kidnapped and then having Nightwing take the Batman mantle. You're combining many stories into one movie, and I thought that it actually worked here perfectly well. We get Damian back into the picture. We bring in Kate Kane. Kate Kane really isn't the best character, but I do like her inside of this film. I do wish that we would have got more of Kate Kane in the later films, though. And still, again, another story focusing on not Batman, but Damian. There are some Batman elements inside of it, but my main issue with this film is that they focus a lot on Damian. And that's with a lot of these films. Coming in at number 11 for me has got to go to Son of Batman. Batman is put in a situation that he now has to look out for a son. And I like stories like this. That's why I'm a big fan of Superman and Lois, because I like stories of like these heroes that's been lone rangers for years, and then now they have a son or like a daughter or like a kid, just a kid to take care of now. I think all of that is very interesting, especially for a character like Batman that's been on his own for a long time. But it does happen a little bit too fast how Batman just takes Damian, hey, come on, you can come home with me. You're my son, but yeah, come on, you can come home with me. With great characters and voice acting and animation and great fight sequences and action between Damian and Batman and Deathstroke, I think all of that worked greatly here. And I think that these type of stories, these type of movies as Son of Batman or Batman versus Robin, those are the type of movies that you can have these stories that focus on Damian a lot more, because the story is not about Batman. It's about the son of Batman. It's about the son of Batman that is now Robin. That's what I liked about this movie, because it focused more on Damian because that's what they marketed the film as. And I honestly think that it deserves a little bit more recognition. Real quick, before I get into my top 10 list, I like to take the time to say that if you are a big fan of DC, which you probably are, that's why you're watching this video, click that playlist up above for everything DC related that I have on my channel. Also, please note that this is day 2 of our DC week. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing Batman movies. Wednesday, we're going to be doing Superman movies. And on Thursday, Snyder Cut. Friday, Snyderverse ranking. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And without further ado, let's just get right into my top 10. Kicking off my top 10 list has got to go to Justice League Throne of Atlantis. I love Aquaman. Like, I love the movie. I love the Aquaman character. I love Snyder's version of Aquaman. Aquaman is just so cool. And to me, inside of this movie, he was cool in this also. It's just awesome to see him defeat his brother King Orm and take his rightful place on the throne. Even though, you know, we've seen this story before. Like, we've seen it in Black Panther. We've even seen it in the movie. But keep in mind, this movie came out before both of those movies. But it's still very cool to see that type of story inside of a movie like this, and it feels big scale. Like I said, even though we've seen this plot before, it's handled well here, while also incorporating the Justice League members themselves. This also serves as a great direct sequel of Justice League War, while incorporating some new characters and some new environments into the mix. It is a sequel to Justice League War, but it also expands the universe a lot more. Coming in at number 9 for me has got to go to Reign of Supermen. The best thing about this is also one of the worst things to me. So many Supermen. Like, I loved it, but I also don't kind of like it. It's great seeing so many of them, but it feels useless to have them except for Steel and Henshaw and the Reborn Clark. It feels like a continuation / part 2 of Death of Superman, and that's what makes it so watchable and engaging. I like the Venom arc of Henshaw, even though it does seem a little bit too unreasonable. I still kind of like it because he was under the influence of Darkseid. I love the character moments inside of it. Like I said, it feels like a continuation, so you put Death of Superman and Reign of Superman together, it feels like a big 2-hour epic movie. It's nice to see the world react to Superman dying and coping with that, and it's also great to see the Justice League cope with it. Coming in at number 8 for me has got to go to Constantine City of Demons. Oh my god, I expected to go inside of this film not liking it and feeling very bored and uninterested, just like how I was with Justice League Dark. but I was actually pleasantly surprised. This is exactly what I wanted from Justice League Dark and also the live action show. A supernatural adventure that was action-packed, had fast, brisk pacing that worked for the story that they were going for. The story was actually interesting that engaged you inside of the film for the entire 89 minutes. I think that what helped this movie out a lot more is the fact that it is animated, but also it's just Constantine. No Justice League members. It's just Constantine, and he's going on this adventure with the supernatural characters, and you can do a lot of things inside of animation with this type of character and the characters that surround him. I think that this movie is very well handled. Coming in at number 7 for me has got to go to Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay. This film was surprising to me too, actually. This movie worked by having great action, a great story, callbacks to the Flashpoint film with Reverse Flash coming in. Reverse Flash, which is my favorite Arrowverse villain, while also being my second favorite DC villain of all time, is great as always. My draw to the Suicide Squad is that they're expendable, and I think that that's what makes a movie like this work so well, and the fact that I'm very excited for James Gunn rated R Suicide Squad, because they're expendable. You gotta have deaths, you gotta have hilarious deaths, and I think that's what we had inside of this film. We had hilarious deaths, we had expendable members. The members are all great, and I think at their core, the Suicide Squad only works when they're doing an extraction story. Coming in at number 6 for me has got to go to Justice League War. Now, before all of this, back in 2018, this was actually the first DCAU film that I ever seen. And I thought that it was actually pretty good and pretty entertaining. The origin of the team coming together was great and very fun. It's cool seeing everyone meet for the first time, like how Batman and Green Lantern are fighting Superman, and you see Superman and Batman meet for the first time. You see Wonder Woman and Superman meet for the first time. You see all of them coming together to fight this invasion. This is actually a very good origin story for the team, and shows that you can have a Justice League movie without solo movies for each character. It also feels like a world where these heroes all exist. Everyone in this city knows of these heroes except for Cyborg, since he just got created inside of this film. So everyone knows these heroes. Everyone knows about the Batman. Everyone knows about Superman. And I think that's what makes it work for me, because it feels like this is actually a big universe and these characters just haven't met yet. But I do think that Darkseid was shown a little bit too early, honestly. Kicking off my top 5 list has got to go to Teen Titans: The Judas Contract. Like I said, I love seeing the Teen Titans in this universe. I love seeing the Teen Titans in this type of way. I love seeing the adult Starfire and the adult Nightwing having little innuendos, jokes behind the scenes. I love the leader characterizations of both Nightwing and Starfire. The Deathstroke and Terra relationship, to me, is pretty gross, because Terra's like supposed to be 15. Deathstroke is supposed to be like in his 50s or something like that. Brother Blood was also really cool, but seeing another Damian-centric story kind of swayed my opinion a little bit on how much I actually love this film. Coming in at number 4 for me has got to go to Justice League Dark: Apokalips War. This movie is dark, it's gritty, and you have a hard time watching it. Actually, on my first viewing, it was a couple hours ago, and really, I just thought of it to be a real gut punch. I love the dystopian war world that we spend the entire film with. The pacing is great, the action really never stops, and every time that there's not an action scene, the dialogue and the interactions, the chemistry between the characters, especially in this world that they're living in now, is interesting. The deaths inside of this film are all visceral and violent, but they're mostly played for shock value, and they all happen very suddenly and just out of the blue. But I definitely thought that the ending was beautiful, with Flash starting another Flashpoint. Kicking off my top 3 list has got to go to the death of Superman. The inevitable death was not going to work if we didn't connect with this Superman. So what did they do? They sidelined most of the Superman action to give us more interactions between Clark Kent and Lois Lane, so then we can connect to Clark Kent, the person, instead of Superman, the icon. The Doomsday fight between all of the Justice League members was visceral and violent. I loved it, and you felt on the edge of your seat just watching Superman lose his strength and lose his powers every second that he's fighting Doomsday. And that emotional wallop that we get when we see Superman die after having 10 films with this version of Superman, it actually packs a punch and shakes the entire Justice League as well as the entire world. My runner-up at number 2 has got to go to Batman vs. Robin. Now, I'm not a big DC Universe comic book reader, so I didn't know much about the Court of Owls until DC Fandom, when we saw the Gotham Knights trailer for the video game and we saw the Court of Owls in the end. I thought, okay, this is going to be a pretty cool concept. Oh, that's what the Court of Owls is. So when I went inside of this film watching Batman vs. Robin, the Court of Owls was very fascinating to me because I liked the idea of it. I liked the concept of it. The fight between Batman and Robin kind of hits hard to me. I love the internal conflicts that Damian go through with joining the Court of Owls or still being the son that Bruce wants him to be. I think that all of that is very well characterization of a young boy that lived most of his life under the guidance of Ra's al Ghul, the leader of the League of Assassins. I also love the conflicting codes between killing and not killing that makes this story an engaging one. But I did wish that Batman and Dick didn't really lose every fight that they fought against Damian, because in Son of Batman, Nightwing took care of Damian. But then in Batman vs. Robin, when they're just training, Nightwing should easily be able to take care of Damian. And if not Nightwing, Batman should easily take care of Damian. But coming in at my number 1 has got to go to the Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. I love everything about this movie, right down to the overall stakes, the conflicts, the consequences that ensue, everything that happens with Barry, everything that's going on with Barry and Reverse Flash. I thought it was all great. We have great payoff in the end. The Atlanteans versus the Amazonians war is very intriguing, and when either Aquaman or Wonder Woman comes on screen, there's a feeling of fear that is inside of you when you see those two characters come on screen, especially when Wonder Woman basically kills Billy Batson in his child form. I also love the Thomas Wayne Batman. I love the more leader role of Cyborg, the more adult role. Reverse Flash, my favorite Arrowverse villain, my favorite Flash villain, and also my second favorite DC villain. I thought that he was a very menacing villain inside of this film, and instead of actually having a good guy versus bad guy fight, there are multiple fights going on, like the Atlantean versus Amazonian war, or we have skinny Superman coming into play, or we have like a nuclear bomb or something like that we have to stop. Everything that was inside of this film was leading up to a climax that ultimately resulted in a big consequence because Barry went back in time to save his mother. So that consequence is he created Flashpoint. He created a new timeline that started with Justice League War. This film has great action, great voice acting, big stakes, big scale action, and an amazing character arc for both Barry and also Thomas Wayne. This is why it has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that was it for the ranking. Please note everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list, it was just my list. And you are free to comment down below your ranking of all 16 DCAU films post-Flashpoint, ranked from the worst to the best just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now. And please note that this is day 2 of our DC week. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the Batman movies. Wednesday we're going to be doing the Superman movies. Thursday, Snyder Cut review. Friday, Snyderverse ranking. Like, comment, and subscribe guys, and I will see you all next time. Peace.